Now, when it comes to the issue of male suicide, there has been an increased focus on the issue more recently, yet it does remain the biggest killer of men under the age of 50 in the UK. So why do so many people still bottle up their emotions, and can it be changed? That's something the Scottish filmmaker Duncan Cowles has looked at in his documentary Silent Men. Here's a small bit of it.
I hide how stupid and inadequate I feel continually. Or I try to. I don't know how good a job I do of managing to hide that, but I feel inadequate and idiotic continually. And it's exhausting hiding that from everyone.
Well, the film is the focal point of Scottish Mental Health Arts Festival this weekend in Glasgow. Screenings also take place in Dundee, Inverness, Aberfeldy and Dumfries. And the filmmaker, Duncan, is here with me now. Thanks for joining me on the sofa tonight. That clip we just saw then, I mean, you've probably seen that loads of times, but it's quite heartbreaking.
Yeah, I've seen it loads and loads of times, yeah. The film's taken about 7 years to make, so it's been a long process of filming and editing and watching the footage over and over again.
Why did you decide to go down this road and make this kind of film then?
I think because it was an issue that I relate to. Like, I struggle to open up to my family and talk about my emotions, so I kind of forced myself to do a film about it as a way to kind of force myself out of my comfort zone and try and get better at doing it. So yeah, it was personal motivations, and I don't know if I'm an expert yet at communicating my emotions, but I'm certainly working on it.
Yeah, I'm from the Highlands myself, where suicide of young men is a huge issue. It was totally surrounded me when I was growing up. What have you learned about the issue as you've gone along?
I think it's just really complicated and it's different for everyone, but it's clear there's a huge issue, and the stats since starting this film haven't got any better. You know, they've got worse, if anything. So there's a real fear of opening up, fear of being vulnerable, and I kind of worry that if you start talking about your emotions, like, something bad's going to happen. It's not always the case, you know. But it's such an individual thing, you know. It's hard to say, you know, generally what it is. It's a big problem, that's for sure.
And you got your parents involved in this documentary. So what was their reaction when you asked them to take part?
I think they probably slightly worried about being on camera, but I mean, they've been massively supportive of this film and also everything that I've done. And you know, putting your personal life out there on screen like I do in this film is quite a kind of scary thing to do. And yeah, they've just been really supportive of the whole thing and quite understanding, even though, yeah, it's an uncomfortable thing to talk about.
Yeah, and so did your parents know about your own kind of struggles in opening up then, or did it come as a bit of a shock to them as soon as you turned the camera on?
I think they were aware of it, and in a way maybe doing this film has helped them worry less about me, because it's sort of, they've seen through the film sort of what I struggle with and why I struggle with it. And I think maybe it's been a slightly therapeutic thing. I don't know if they might disagree if they were sitting here, but yeah.
So have you formed an idea in your head then, having done all this work, about maybe how we can just get a bit better at dealing with this issue?
I mean, I think there's lots of like organisations that are out there helping, places like Andy's Man's Club and people like that who are doing great work and providing sort of supportive environments that men can go to. But it's, I don't know, it's also just about making people feel like safe and secure, and it's a hard thing to do, but just, it sounds cliched to say like talking about it. I think there's more to it than that, and hopefully the film kind of gets into that and explores it. But it's, yeah, it's a very hard, big issue to sum up in quite a short space of time, I suppose.
Yeah, okay. Well, thank you very much, Duncan, for coming in and talking to us. All the best with your documentary going forward as well.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. And if you know anyone, if you know someone or know anyone who's been affected by mental health issues, organisations who might be able to help, you can find them at bbc.co.uk/actionline.